Today we're talking Johnny Depp's new role behind the camera, plus the Hollywood icon he's teaming up with. And Tom Holland has spun his way off his social media. We'll tell you the reason behind the sudden break. Plus, did Dwayne Johnson's ego get in the way of Black Adam appearing in Shazam? It's all coming up in your Hollywood headlines. And we begin with the news of Johnny Depp stepping behind the camera to direct the upcoming film Modigliani. Depp will produce the European film alongside Barry Navidi and Hollywood icon Al Pacino.
Say hello to my little friend!
Following an Italian artist, this marks Depp's first directorial effort in 25 years. It also marks yet another job for the actor following the defamation trial against ex-wife Amber Heard. Maybe you heard about that trial on the news or something.
She goes, yeah, he threw a phone at me and hit me. And I'm going, where?
Johnny will also play the role of King Louis XV in an upcoming film and has since returned as the face of Dior cologne. And if you smell that, it's the smell of a career comeback.
It's magic. Sauvage.
Switching now to Tom Holland. The popular Spider-Man actor has announced that he is stepping away from social media to focus on his mental health.
I don't feel so good.
You're all right.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know.
In a 3-minute video posted to his Instagram, Holland noted that social media has become detrimental to his mental state and that he spirals when he reads things about himself online.
Thank you for listening. I'm going to disappear from Instagram again. And to everyone out there, thanks for your love and support. I love you all, and I'll speak to you soon.
For now, Holland's 67.7 million followers will just have to get their fix of the actor the old-fashioned way. They're watching him in the movies.
Oh my God. This isn't what it looks like happening.
Switching from one superhero to another, Dwayne Johnson has confused comic book fans while commenting on his upcoming Black Adam film, namely that he lobbied Warner Brothers to keep the character out of 2019's Shazam.
It kind of tickles. You're dead.
Black Adam was initially written into the script as Shazam's big bad opposite Zachary Levi, but Johnson thought this would be doing his character a disservice. And well, what The Rock wants, The Rock gets. All right, and here to join me to break it all down just a little bit more is the WatchMojo lady herself, Rebecca Brayton. Rebecca, I was trying to do some math. Give me your best estimate. How many videos have you narrated here at WatchMojo?
Let's say 15,000. I have no idea. It would involve so much math. I've been doing voiceover for WatchMojo, let's say since... Okay, I started there in 2008, so let's say 2008. That's a long time.
We got to call...
1 week, I did 11. 1 day, I did 11 in a day.
We have to call Guinness Book of World Records.
Look,
there's got to be...
That's been in the talks for years.
There's got to be a record there. So,
if Mario
regardless,
can
Rebecca,
get one, then I can get one.
There you go. All right, let's get some hot takes going, Rebecca. We're starting with Johnny Depp. Now, I want to focus on this new announcement that he's stepping behind the camera. So he's going to be directing. People might say, what? Johnny Depp behind the camera? But this isn't his first time directing. He's done a few, I think he's only actually done one, but he's done some producing. He produced the movie Hugo. So he's done a lot of stuff behind the scenes. What do you make of this new project that he's got on the go?
I actually haven't heard anything about it. Can you tell me?
Well, he's teamed up. Well, here's what's kind of interesting about it. He's teamed up producing it with Al Pacino. Pacino is joining him on the producing side. And the story is about this Italian artist. And it's it's going to take place in Italy. It's all going to be shot in Europe. And I feel like that's where Johnny Depp's biggest fan base is right now in Europe. Don't you think? Like that seems to be the groundswell of like where he's really welcomed with open arms.
I guess so. I actually have no idea. I don't know where his fan base is most located, but taking the Johnny Depp out of it sounds like an interesting movie. you know. Very kind of chocolat, which he was in, I think. Is that him?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I feel like it's going to have that kind of European flavor to it. And yeah, so behind the camera, I don't think people should be too surprised because, like I said, Johnny has done stuff behind the camera before. But I think maybe his days of like the big blockbusters, like your Pirates of the Caribbean, are a little, maybe, I don't want to say over, but they're maybe years away from stepping back into those roles.
I don't know. I feel like when people get to a certain age, other than Tom Cruise, let's just remove Tom Cruise from this discussion. Maybe they don't want to do as many stunts or, you know, physical activities on their movies. Maybe they don't. Maybe they do. And if you do, Tom Cruise, more power to you. And obviously it's worth it at the box office. But, you know, maybe people just want to relax.
I think you're onto something because Brad Pitt has also said that he's in the last stage of his career in front of the camera. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Brad Pitt go behind and do some directing just like Johnny Depp did. But as far as Tom Cruise,
has he not yet? I don't think he has before.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think
weird.
I think he will. But I don't think anyone can stop Tom Cruise. I think he's going to be jumping off the stuff in his 90s. This guy, he will never stop running. No. Okay.
He's going to invent new things to jump off.
He's already going to space. He jumped off everything on Earth. Got to jump off stuff in outer space now. Hey, let's move on to someone that I know you're a fan of, Tom Holland. Tom Holland has announced he's taking that break that a lot of people are taking, and that being from social media. And the reason why? Well, it's his mental health. He's finding that it's well, and he's not wrong because I'm right there with him. You go on those like spirals and you're reading all these things. It has that negative impact. So he's kind of had enough. And with him, Rebecca, and I'll get you to chime in on this, he's saying that it's hard for him to read and see things about other people talking about him.
Yes, and ironically, that's what we're doing here. So I fully see the irony in that, everyone. Just throwing that out there. But I am being asked, so here's my opinion. Yeah, I feel he's under a very specific microscope that you don't see it to that level all the time. Not everyone in his generation of actors has the same scrutiny that I feel like Tom Holland and Zendaya specifically as a couple get. And I mean, up to this point, it's all been positive, which is great, and I'm happy for them. At least I think so. Like everything I've seen has been positive, but I cannot imagine. I obviously read comments about myself, and I don't particularly enjoy that. So it's just times a million. So I do not blame anyone for taking a hiatus from social.
Yeah,
I would do it if I could.
I think we all kind of forget that these celebrities, these stars, these actors that are in these big kind of movies and TV shows and musicians, they're still people, so they're still kind of affected by what people say online. So we might kind of think like, oh, well, Tom Holland's not, he doesn't care what people say about him online. Apparently he does. He's not the only one that's taking breaks, though, in the, I want to call them the young Hollywood. You know, Shawn Mendes had to step away from a tour to focus on his mental health, and you're seeing it in the headlines. Millie Bobby Brown has come out and said that she was really affected by certain things. So this isn't new, and I can see other kind of young stars especially stepping away from that social media, which is kind of weird to say because most of them feed off of it.
Yes, but it's impressive that they have the fortitude and the, self-knowledge to recognize that that's the best thing for them and the only way that they can kind of survive in the industry they're in. So I really respect that they had the guts to do it.
Yeah, gotta look out for what's up here, not just the abs, guys. You gotta look out for the mental health as well. Okay, speaking of abs and muscles, Dwayne, I'm all about the segues, right? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has got some comic book fans kind of scratching their heads. This is because he spoke out in Vanity Fair, Rebecca, saying that he really did not want Black Adam to appear in the Shazam movie. And he was supposed to be, his character, Black Adam, was literally supposed to be the big bad. And we comic book fans know, well, Black Adam, Shazam, they're very much tied together. He's the nemesis of Shazam, and But Dwayne was like, no, I need my own movie first, and then we'll see what happens. Is this an ego trip from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, or does it make sense?
I don't think it's an ego trip. I mean, obviously The Rock can carry a movie as the leading man, so like it's not that strange. It's interesting to have the origin story of a villain movie. We don't see a lot of that in the comic book movies. I'm thinking, do we?
No, you're right. You're right, and I think that's kind of what Dwayne Johnson wanted. He wants, because Black Adam, yes, he's the villain, and especially in the older issues, he's very much so. But you're seeing it in the trailer where he's kind of playing a bit of an anti-hero that still kills people. So I think The Rock seeing this is kind of like that. And I'm trying to think, like a Suicide Squad-esque. Like, yes, these are bad guys, but maybe they're doing some good. So maybe that's where he wanted to take it. I don't know.
I understand why, as an actor, you would want to give the most to your character as you could. And obviously, even if he is The Rock, they're not going to let him... They're not just going to say yes, why, sure, because he asked them to, right? I'm sure it will all make sense. And honestly, if you look at the vibe of the Shazam movie versus the vibe of the trailer for Black Adam, different vibes. Very different vibes. Don't see how that would have meshed well together. So...
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. I think it was a good choice in the end. We'll see how this Black Adam film does. I feel like maybe I'm alone in this, but I feel like the buzz, if you will, is kind of lukewarm. I feel like the groundswell of people getting excited, usually with like a superhero film along the lines of like, okay, anything Marvel, it builds and builds and builds, and I feel like Black Adam's just kind of hovering there. He made the appearance at Comic-Con, so we'll see if this becomes a big deal, because DC and Warner Brothers will they need the hits.
They do. I feel like people are excited about things they're excited about, and like proven things. And Marvel's proven at this point, and DC's not. So it's kind of like a vicious cycle. But if the movie succeeds, then the next one will definitely have that hype behind it.
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely. Hey, I'll be watching, and I know you'll be watching, and we'll probably talk about it right here. Rebecca, thank you so much for breaking this all down with me today.
Nope.